We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome back to These Unprecedented Gays, your go-to podcast for all things queer, where we unpack the nuances of LGBTQ plus life in these unprecedented times.
Smorgasbord of food?
They had pets?
Yeah. Cats and dogs. It was raining cats and dogs and hamsters, and I think geese. Geese.
Hide your dogs, hide your cats. They eat everybody out here.
Okay, Antoine. I think his name was Antoine Johnson, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
This country has gone to crap.
It has.
It's all
Yeah.
falling apart. It's going to be World War III.
This is a hellhole.
Girl.
I hate it here. That's what he was doing. I'm like, then leave, girl. Just like you tell everybody else, then leave.
You don't like it? Yeah. Bye.
You need help packing? What you packing?
No, we cannot give them that luxury. No packing.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Joe.
And we're These Unprecedented Gays.
A special edition.
Special edition.
I know, we're punditry.
Okay, now, as we all know, we recently had the first presidential debate, and I feel like the only presidential debate we'll get this.
Well, it was the
season.
Second one, but the first real one.
Okay, the first one between
With the real candidates.
the first one between Kamala and Donald.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to be the only one we're going to get.
Yeah. I think that she said, like, let's do it again, bitch.
Well, we'll get into it.
Right.
Because, like, something just came out about that, too.
Oh.
But,
Our one producer's in the pink this
he's got one in the Pink because he
Yeah.
got offered a free ticket to go see Pink tonight.
Yeah,
So
and
good
I think
for
that
him.
really stinks.
Well, what about us?
I know. Because we were talking before we started recording, and it's like Pink is like a theatrical, acrobatical like goddess with like vocal power and control. But like, I would just love to see her.
Yeah.
I think she's like. I wish she would have done a couple days in San Diego because it's one day and like on a Wednesday. It's very random. You know, like do it on a Friday.
She's not a Taylor Swift, though.
Well, she should be. Because she sells out stadiums. Like she
Oh,
did.
she does, yes. And but you know what? She was just here recently as well over at Snapdragon.
Okay, I feel like was that last year?
It was last year, yeah.
Because I'm like, wait a minute. I feel like she was just here.
But now she's at Petco Park today.
Which I would be curious how they set that up. Because it's the baseball stadium. Right. So they probably have it like, what is the home plate or whatever?
Yeah.
Or whatever set up. Because it's all floor seating, I would imagine.
No, they used everything.
Oh, they sit you in the
seats and everything.
In the seating?
They might put her in the outfield.
So they'll put her on the outfield closer to the big screen.
Oh.
And then they'll have seating and floor and pit and everything on the actual field. And then everybody in the seats as well.
I bet it's a sold out show, and I would be really curious to see how that like the mechanism of that all, because that would be really just like a fun show to see.
I'm sure there's a YouTube video that shows how it's done.
How they set it up.
Yeah.
No, because then I'll randomly get like concert setup picture like videos for my like feed. I have perfectly Claire Saffitz is back on my suggestions.
Oh, good.
Because she's doing the try and mimic the like. She did like the Little Debbie oatmeal cookies.
Okay.
And she did the...
to replicate like commercial cakes. And
I mean, they're like 45 minutes, which is a long... That's like an episode of like a scripted television show that's an hour. But she does like this captivating thing where she's like really easy to watch and she's like personable. And I like watching her.
It's comforting too.
Yeah.
It's just, like, calm and
she really
easy.
is. And she like makes mistakes and she's like, oh, well, like, oops, like...
I did it again.
Oh, she did it. So, yeah, I do like Claire.
So, we decided that we wanted to put out an episode because there was a lot to unpack at the debate. And I'm sure everybody's YouTube feeds
It's still... Girl, it hasn't even been 24 hours.
I know. But, like, I'm sure everybody's YouTube feeds are, like, you know, going crazy with all
YouTube,
the pundits and
Instagram...
Right. You know,
formerly known as Twitter, TikTok.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What was the one that Instagram did that was tried to beat Instagram Threads. Do you have
Threads?
Threads?
Used to be no. I've never.
I
got
don't
on
either.
Threads. And I see people still post on it, and I'm just like, nope.
And I get notifications where it's like, hey, this person posted on Threads, and I'm like, I don't care. Don't notify me of this.
Exactly.
I'm not on this. Like, I don't want to be on Threads. I don't want to be on Twitter. I don't have any of the things.
So we're just gonna get right into it because our both of our Did She Eat and What's Giving Us Life from Mouth to Mouth is basically the debate and Kamala Harris.
And Miss Kamala Queen, coconut, yes.
Yes. She just fell out of a coconut tree and ready to go.
Girl, I was living.
How was your week? Besides the debate.
Well, so I think the only highlight was Nick did not join me. I took Max to the beach, the dog beach, and he loves the water. And I feel like if it weren't such a big cleanup after, we would go like almost every day.
Oh my god, if you only had a dog washing station at your...
Do you wash Baxter when he gets back from the beach?
Oh, yes. Yeah. We take him right over to the dog washing station, especially if he's not too sandy, we'll just wipe him down.
And does it have high pressure?
No.
Oh.
It doesn't really have high pressure, so we kind of like have to, rub him down to get the sand out.
It takes a lot of effort.
But yeah. But there's people always leave like different shampoos over there, so you can try different things.
I don't need him shampooed. I just need to get all the sand off. It is an endeavor. Because, Max loves it. And I was like, okay, I'm really happy because he was just doing his little paddling and he was living his life and it was just like, oh my God, he's so good. And it's like, I'm such a proud dog dad where I'm like, look at him fetching that ball and he's dog paddling.
I'm telling you need to, check in with our guy because, he would take him 2 days a week to the beach, and I think Max would love it, and he could play with other dogs, and he'd be so tired when he gets home because you've seen Baxter.
Baxter is he's pooped. Yeah. Max is not pooped. He doesn't still know to not drink the water.
Oh yeah,
and he does this squat after. I was like, there's nothing to pick up, girl. That you are becoming one with the ocean again.
Yeah, that is liquid. It is just going to get absorbed, and you are watering.
That is the circle of life, and that is all for you. So that was kind of the main kind of showstopper of the week. It was getting Max to the beach because it's been a really hot heat wave. So
yes,
you guys, you pooled, so
So we had people over on Sunday and did a little pool day down at the pool, which we had to get our stuff out there early and everything.
I was gonna ask because it was probably real busy.
It wasn't too busy when we were down there. Not like the Saturday before, but we've had a heat wave where it was San Diego proper was almost 100, it's 95 to 98 degrees.
It was it was 99.
Yeah, and then places like La Mesa, El Cajon, all those
East.
More inner land city.
Interland city girl. I'm an interland city girl.
Were 100 and something, and I'm like, no, you don't want to live somewhere where it gets triple digits, girl. I can't.
We were one digit away.
But we went to the pool, and that's the longest I've ever spent in a pool. I was down at that poolside 6 hours that day,
in the
hanging
water,
out in the cabana, and then being in the water for so long, and everything. I was just
were you exhausted?
I was exhausted, and it was after a while the pool wasn't refreshing anymore because it was starting to get really warm.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So other than that,
did you guys barbecue?
Yeah, we did burgers and stuff, and I made some chicken that I marinated in my cilantro dressing from Trader Joe's.
Yes,
Okay.
I love barbecue.
I'm gonna tell you the story that happened to me when I went to go get my haircut on Saturday.
Okay,
did I tell you the story about the lady? Okay, so I'm standing there waiting for the place to open because my appointment was at 9:00 and they open at 9, so I was outside. And it's next to the Vaughn, so Annie went grocery shopping and I was hanging out.
Do you go to Hillside Barber?
No, I go to Floyd's 99 in Mission Hills. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
who do you see?
Chrissy G.
Yes! That's who I started off with.
Yeah,
when she has her funky crazy hair.
Yeah.
And it was green. But then I cheated on her and I went to Ava.
Oh, yeah.
And now
I
I
love
don't.
Chrissy because, it's no nonsense. She knows what I want.
Oh, yeah.
Really quick. All that kind of stuff. So I'm waiting outside, and I see this woman at the corner of my eye because I'm on my phone. and she's like standing near me with her dog, and then like I'm not paying attention to her. I'm like, please don't talk to me. I don't have my headphones in. So
especially
like,
at 9 a.m.
Yeah, especially at 9 a.m. I'm like, oh God. So then she leaves, and then she comes back, and she's like, have you seen a lady right here with 2 dogs? And I'm like, no, I see a woman with 1 dog.
Oh!
And she's like, well, she's trying to get her dogs to attack my dog. And I'm like, okay. And then she's going on about this woman yelling at her, screaming at her, and attacking her, and how this woman is afraid. Now she's afraid to walk home, and she was a couple of blocks away, and I'm like thinking to myself, I ain't walking you.
No,
like home. No, ma'am. I don't know you.
But also,
and I'm going to miss my 9 o'clock appointment.
Why is she like telling you all this?
Well, then she goes, and then like she started calling me a racist, and I didn't say anything racist, and I don't have a racist bone in my body, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, and then she was like talking some more, and I was like, I just want to throw away my drink. And then she starts going on about race being not a racist again. And so finally I looked at her and I was like, ma'am, I am of the belief that if you have to tell me you're not a racist, you're probably a racist.
Oh!
and then she's like, what? Well, and then she just like walked away. She's like, I forget what her dog's name is. She's like, come on, blah, 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 let's go. And I'm like, okay. Because she was like, I called the cops, but they haven't gotten here yet. And I'm like, well, you should probably wait for the cops.
Oh!
Like, it's like, well, I just want to get home because my dog, like, you should probably wait for the cops to get here if you're that scared. And then I go inside, wait for a couple of minutes, and Chrissy G gets there, and she was talking about the same woman because she was sitting in her car, watched the entire interaction between the woman and the other woman, and the woman who was approaching me was being racist.
No.
To the girl's boyfriend, and then the girl came out and was like, why are you always yelling at my man, and blah, 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 blah. Like,
wait, was this at like someone's house?
It was like the apartment complex behind the Vons. Yeah. I was just like, this is so great. And I told Chrissy G what I said, and she was like, that's hilarious. And I'm like, I'm glad I said it because obviously she was racist.
That's crazy. And also, this all happened before 9 a.m.
Yeah, no. I was like, girl, this is a lot.
On a Saturday.
On a Saturday.
But your updo looks good.
While I'm trying to get my hairs did. And
it looks good.
And get my gay powers back.
Yeah.
So,
you are floating right now.
Thank you. All right. We already know our Did She Eat? And Mouth to Mouth, What's Giving Us Life, is Kamala and the debate. Now, I feel like she ate, left no crumbs, went back, got another round at the buffet, came back and ate again, and then ordered 3 desserts.
She ate so much food that she doesn't need to eat for the rest of the year. That's not that long. She went into hibernation.
Yes.
But not because she's still campaigning and like needs to be the president. But like, I was like, yes, please.
Okay, like I was not actually going to watch the debate because I was just like,
why? Really?
I was like...
It's entertainment nowadays. And Nick was like stressed out. And I get it. Like, it's hard to watch Donald Trump in any capacity. But I just kept laughing at him. I was like, this man is so unhinged.
I will say this, like, it was a good debate. It was entertaining, but obviously sometimes I think to myself, I'm like, is a debate supposed to be entertaining or is it supposed to be informational?
And that's exactly what Nick said. He's like, this is not it.
I said this today. I was like, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, both of them didn't really talk about their policies in depth. But, so I use it as an analogy of like getting home and your car. So I was like, neither one of them parked the car in the garage, but at least Kamala was on the same street as her house. Donald's in a totally different neighborhood.
He didn't even get in the
on the bus.
I was going to say,
he lost his car.
He didn't even get in the car. His car got repoed.
Right.
Like, trying to follow the answers that Donald Trump gave was impossible. Right. And I feel like Kamala Harris did such a good job because she had it was just like this elegance, you know what I mean? And it was just like, hey, I'm going to answer your question and show you that I'm not going to interrupt you. like Donald Trump does, and I'm just going to make my facts.
Even though he tried to make it seem like she was going to, at one point he was like, I'm talking.
Oh, because that was like, he wanted to be like, remember when you said that? Like,
that's exactly
it was
what he
stupid.
did. Does that sound familiar?
But
it's
okay. What pissed me off is that she would say something and he'd be like, let me address it. And like, Kamala would have, like, she didn't do that. Like, he would say something stupid and she would wait for the moderators to be like, you have a minute to respond.
Well, okay, so let's start from the beginning.
Yes, let's unpack it all.
Because first off, it's just them walking on the stage and like, Kamala went out there like with a purpose.
But she also went and shook his hand.
But that was her whole thing. That's exactly what she was going to go do.
Power move.
She knew, and he was trying to avoid her. So he went back behind the thing. She came out in front of the stanchions and then went over to him.
Oh, so good.
And he was. I don't think he was ever going to like shake her hand, but he had to because she did it, and she was like, hi, I'm Kamala Harris.
Yep.
Let's have a great debate. And you could see in his face, he was like, ooh. And just so people know, like, there may be another reason behind it. I can only give you what I'm thinking, and this is, you're probably going to hear a lot of, like, if you watch YouTube and watch all the different ones, like Pondering Politics and Occupy Democrats and Young Turks and Fox News. And
is that what your YouTube is right now? Is a bunch of politics?
It's just everything politics right now.
I watch the videos and then I clear the history because the algorithm is crazy because like you'll watch one video and that's all you get.
Well, it's like I also started watching like some comedy stuff, so it would come through on there and everything. And of course, I watched my like what to buy at Costco and
deal guy. Good. Okay.
So, but I was thinking, he would not look at her the entire time.
Not even for a second.
Right. There were times when his like eyes would dart over there, but he wouldn't say or look or move his head to look at her. I think it's because looking at her or not looking at her is a way to, in his mind, a way to make her feel or look inferior to him.
Or he's so old his neck can't turn.
Well, and he had a neck pussy.
I saw that! His Nussy was on fire!
His Nussy was out there for the world to see.
Girl, his turkey gobbler was pussilicious. It was bad.
You're Nussy.
I feel like that is a commercial for, hi, I'm Dr. Dubrow. Do you need a neck lift? Come to my clinic.
Do you suffer from Nussy?
Come to me and I'll cut it out now. For only 5 easy payments.
So, but like, I do think it was a way for him to be, in a way, sexist and not look at her and give her acknowledgement because he didn't do that to Biden.
Did he do it so I was going to say, did he look at Biden?
He looked at Biden and he has these ways of doing things during his, where he intimidates you during his debates. So with Biden, he was very much like in 2020, he talked over him a lot, tended to get him rattled, and that's when that was the year when Biden was like, "Will you just shut up, man?" and rattled him, and that's what he wanted to do. And then with 2016, when he went up against Hillary, he invited 3 of Bill Clinton's accusers, sexual abuse accusers, and sat them in the front row. It's to rattle Hillary Clinton. And then he would stand really close to her and kind of like intimidate her with his side.
No idea.
Because he's like 6'6" and she was like 5'7", and Kamala's only 5'4". That's why he said there are to be no lifts at the debate because that would be cheating.
What do you mean? Like, did she like to stand on a
Kamala
platform?
Can't stand on a lift.
Girl, she stood on the fucking backs of everyone of this goddamn country.
Okay, she stood on your fucking neck.
Yes, on your Nussy.
On your Nussy.
Standing on your Nussy.
She had her heel firmly planted in your Nussy.
I mean, her stiletto fit right on in.
But I do think that was a way to kind of like intimidate her, or thinking he was intimidating her, and she didn't care
because she didn't give a fuck.
She continued to look at him, and it made him look fucking petty.
And also, it like unhinged.
Right.
Like We'll get into it, but God, the commentary and the responses that she had, and like just the laughing. Like I took a picture, and it was just her with her hand on her chin, just being like, "What the fuck are you saying?"
Well, and there's another guy, one of the right wing like commentators. I think it's like something Frank Lutz or something like that. And he was like, she needs to control those facial expressions, blah blah. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
But also, if you look at the entire thing of pictures taken, Trump is the one who is yelling, and he looks deranged.
I'm like, she is exactly the auntie at Thanksgiving who is laughing at the old senile grandpa who's going off on rants.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she's supposed to be doing. All right, so we had the handshake.
Introduction.
And the introduction. And then I didn't watch the first part of it, but I know because seeing all the memes and
see, I didn't watch the last 30.
Okay.
I watched the first hour because I was like, oh wow, like they didn't take a break yet.
Time. Yeah. But like
for the Trump side, you didn't miss much, Joe, because he just kept repeating the same
I
thing
know.
over and over again.
But before we get into that, I want to know what your impressions of the moderators are, because we got introduced to the hot man and then the girl.
And see, I don't think he's that hot.
Okay, there are some photographs of him online.
Oh right,
and it's like where's his nussy?
Okay, but let me tell you, her shoulder pads were amazing. I was like, yes, give me shoulder, give me
Kamala or the moderator?
The moderator.
I know, it was like 80s. She was an upside down triangle.
Right. I was like, yes, ma'am, give it to me. I love it.
Yes. Okay, so not a fan of a hot moderator. That's okay.
Well, but like, also, I think, people are like complaining that it was 3 against 1 and that ABC...
3 against 1?
Yeah, Megyn Kelly, Jesse Waters, and all the right wings are like, 3 against 1. Why ABC treated Trump unfairly? And I'm like, no, they actually let him speak a lot more than Kamala.
He had 45 minutes, and she had like 30.
Right. So, no... That's not how it goes, but you just want to see it that way because your man didn't do so great. And then, they let him go on his little rants.
Yeah, right. They wouldn't stop him.
I think think this is twofold. These are my thinking. I'm not a political commentator. Allegedly.
No, we are pundits today.
I know. And I'm like, I didn't go to school for political science.
Girl, I didn't either. But we have, we have an opinion and we're right.
I didn't even like regular science in school.
But did you like Bill Nye?
I thought, you know what? I did have a crush
on
Bill Nye.
Because Bill Nye, I feel like Bill Nye was your type. When you were in school, you're like, ooh, this kind of geeky older guy.
So, I think it was twofold. First of all, they were trying to make sure they didn't look unbiased, or make sure that they looked unbiased by giving him more time.
But in that, they were biased towards him.
Right. And I also think that they were like, you know what? Let's just give him time because... if that's the case, he's just going to end up hanging himself anyway.
And that's exactly what happened. And it gives more content for Kamala's campaign to just snip and clip and use as like for commercials.
Yeah, so I was very... she did a great job. Okay, so leading up to this, they did a lot of debate prep. So from what I understand, I was watching a couple of videos and reading a couple of articles about the debate prep. So they had 2 different kinds of... ways that they prepped. So Donald would sit at a long table, and he would sit on one side, and his debate prep team would sit on another, and they would just hit him with questions and ways to answer it. So he had Matt Gaetz on his debate prep team.
Girl.
Yeah, I know. And Tulsi Gabbard, who used to be the governor or representative from Hawaii, who was Democratic and decided to leave the party and go over to Republicans. And so that's how they prepped Donald. So try to make sure that he knew how to answer stuff. But the funny thing is, I don't think they worked enough on what happens if he gets rattled or if he gets needled and then loses it.
Well, and as I was watching, I was like, what debate prep did they do? Because all he's doing is unhinging.
Also, I think that the people around him, he has them so scared to say anything that might be disparaging to him that he thinks. Yeah. So they never say anything. Just like when he was at the press conference in New York and his lawyers are standing behind him and he's just berating his lawyers and they don't say anything. And he's saying all this stuff about this woman and she's not the chosen one and all this stuff. And I'm just like,
girl,
you guys should really stop him from speaking. But they did it, even though you could see their faces going, oh my God, like this guy, what the fuck? But anyway, and then with Kamala, from what I understand, they did it out. Like they had an actual sound stage where they built a debate stage.
Really?
And they had someone who was on, used to be on Trump's team, who used to help him with prep as well for debates, play Donald Trump.
No.
Yeah, so they would actually do role playing the debate and answering stuff and everything. And I think they had a plan going in, knowing that they had to rattle him and they had to lead the hook.
And they did.
And they knew exactly where because it's his ego.
Oh yeah, because everything that Kamala did, she did a really good job of she rattled him. She spoke about her policies, even if it wasn't as detailed. She always made it back to like, I'm here for you. Like, I want to help you as the American citizen, and like, I am not the old like regime. Right. I'm new and I'm better.
Well, and I was watching lately, ever since Kamala got into the race, I've been a little bit more political and watching political videos. But I was watching an interview, and like a political commentary was like, "Don't count the lies, count the eyes." So every time Trump's like, "I did this, I did this, I did that," you like, because he never talks about anybody as a team.
Oh, like we.
Oh
my God.
So don't count the lies, count the eyes, because he's not about we, he's about me.
That is so damn.
Yeah, it is crazy when you think when you frame it in that aspect, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, and Kamala uses we. I'm here for you. I'm the person for you.
Knows.
Yeah.
They know that that's how they're going to get it. All right. So Kamala gets him on that. She's like, she throws out, I'm going to invite you guys to do something that I normally would never do, and that's to go to a Trump rally.
But this is the thing. Every answer, she had a couple slip ups where it was like, not like, perfect speech, but like, you're a human being. Like,
right.
Stumbling on your words, like, I would say she was like 99.99% perfection.
Right.
And when she said that, I was like, girl, because it was like it was a truth dig.
Yeah, and you could see his face in real time when they did the split screen. It was like,
well, because what did she say?
Because she was like, they say weird things. They're you
won't hear anybody talking about you. You'll hear fictional characters like
Hannibal Lecter, and then you'll see people leaving early because they got bored and they got tired.
Yep.
And they were exhausted and bored. And because it's just fear mongering the entire time.
Well, and he basically like responded to that and was like, "My crowd size is huge." I'm like, "Oh, honey,
again, about him."
Yeah.
And it's funny because it wasn't even in response to that, because the moderator asked him about.
I think it was about immigration.
It's
like you were way off
the
topic.
Border or something, and it was
but
like,
he couldn't let it rest.
No, but that's because that's how he is.
And it's like everybody knows that that's the exact moment he lost the debate,
which was like 5 minutes in.
I know,
20 minutes in or something.
Yeah, it was like 9 minutes actually, because it was like
it was quickly. Very early. I was like, oh my God, girl.
And then he started talking about people eating dogs and
I know.
And I was like, is this like, seriously, I'm like, I feel like we're living in a simulation. Like, are we living in a Simpsons episode? Because Springfield and like in Ohio and like, they're saying that these people are eating dogs and
it's crazy.
Cats.
Like, I'm sorry, what? And then like he said he saw it on TV. Trump was like, I saw it on TV.
Yeah. When they said, no, nobody said that. And he's like, they are saying they're not getting any reputable, complaints about this. And he's like, well, I saw it on TV. And the actual mayor of Springfield had to have a press conference today.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
To say that this is not happening. But it is because people are frustrated in Springfield because there was an influx of a lot of like thousands.
Where is Springfield?
Springfield, Ohio.
Oh, Ohio.
And it did have an influx of like 20,000 Haitian immigrants. But those Haitian immigrants are living in the houses that nobody wants to live in.
Yeah.
And they're doing the jobs that nobody there wants to do.
Right.
And so this is his way of creating some like fear mongering. And they've also been using the fact that a Haitian immigrant was involved in a car crash with a school bus in Springfield, Ohio. And a child was killed in that accident. As an 11-year-old kid named, I think it's Aiden. And the parents came out today and said that Trump and Vance need to stop trying to politically weaponize their child's death because that's not what happened. They don't believe that this was because of some illegal immigrant and that they did this on purpose. It was an accident, and I'm just like, that is crazy to me.
I feel like you could sue for defamation.
We probably could.
Yeah, let's do it.
So back to Trump and Kamala. So my favorite line, and that this like made me laugh out loud and like start slapping my knee. That's how old I am. But when she said he was fired by 81 million people,
I gooped. I was gooped and gagged, girl. I was like, and then she added, and he seems to be having a hard time accepting that because she like, and this is what I love about it is she took his old like. Biden is old and is senile, and she flipped it and made it Trump is old and senile.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's like, I'm not Biden.
Yeah, that was my favorite too. When she was like, "You're not debating Joe Biden right now," and I'm like, "Go ahead." Oh, and then when she was like, "Okay," so this was the best part because she had the amount of control and self-will she had to have to do this was amazing because she was like, this. Looks at him and goes, former president, because she wanted to be like, this motherfucker right here.
Yes!
Like, this bitch right here.
That is going viral too, because it's like, oh, Kamala Harris almost said a swear word. And it's like, I would fucking cuss out Donald Trump too. He's doing it.
I know.
Like, hello?
And it's like, when they were like, why do you feel it's okay to speak on another candidate's racial identity? He's like, I don't care. I don't care. She's the one who put it out there that she was not black and then black and blah, blah, blah. He's like, I don't actually care. I don't really care. And I'm like, then tell it to all the trans people you got, like, you're giving hell to. Because I'm like...
Well, and that's the other thing to me. Is like, yeah, your kids are getting sent into school and coming back a different gender.
Yeah, or like... illegal immigrants in jail are getting transferred.
I love the
like
memes.
Nuka gay whale for Christ. It's like every possible social issue
like,
in one phrase.
In one, yeah, and like the what's the American Dad, the alien?
Oh, Roger.
And it's like a picture of him.
And it's
like, I'm the illegal transgender alien.
I love all of them. There's like the one with E.T. when they're trying to take him out and he's dressed up as drag, and like the illegal aliens in prison getting transgender.
It's just like, again, the simulation. You're just like, I cannot believe this is the case.
And he would just go back to the same talking points, and I'm just like, okay, you sound like a broken record. And the fact that Fox News and all these people are trying to say that he won the debate. I'm just like,
did they watch the debate?
I'm like, I get it.
So credit to Pierce Morgan, who is usually very Republican leaning, and he just said flat out he got his butt kicked. Basically,
he did. Really? To Trump?
No, on his show. On his show, he basically said, "All right, she won and soundly won."
And people were like. There were other people on there like Tommy Lauren, who's she's a piece of. But she was like, yeah, he messed that up, and I wish he had it, but he did mess that up.
But did the Fox people admit it?
Oh
or no? Like the Sean Hannitys are like, oh yes, you're.
Sean just fed into his. Base. You wouldn't have to do another debate because you did this one so well.
Well, and here's the thing about that.
Did he really said that?
Well, yeah, because I guess Kamala said she'd be willing to debate him again,
And his spin on it was, the only reason she'd want to do it again
is because
she lost and she needs another shot. And I was like, no, in fact, if you look back on your last Biden one, right afterwards, you invited Biden to a second debate.
Right.
So obviously the winner is
because
the one who does
because
that.
he's like, the only reason anybody would ask that is because they want a rematch because they lost. And it's like, no, it's because she wants to beat your ass.
I was just going to say, she wants to wipe the floor with you.
Right.
Well,
even more so.
Think about that. I'm not sure I would.
Right.
Maybe I don't need to.
And the funny thing is like, there's a thing called the spin room after the debate.
What's that?
And that's where they have a lot of these, the press and people, everybody in there. So the reason why they call it the spin room is so that
not because they're doing Soul Cycle.
No. They're not playing Dead or Alive. You spin around.
I was like, wait a minute. They're doing their Soul Cycle spin.
This is so you could put your own spin on what happened.
Oh.
Now, after a debate, it's kind of known whoever goes to the spin room lost the debate.
So is this like offshoot of wherever the debate was?
Correct.
Okay.
Because they don't have all of the reporters in with the debate.
Okay.
So whoever goes to the spin room is the one who lost because they've got to do damage control. And guess who went to the spin room and who did it?
No.
Donald Trump went to the spin room. Kamala went to a watch party. So I'm like,
a watch party of the debate that she just had.
Yeah. Yes.
Girl, that
she's like,
I'm gonna take
myself.
my victory lap. I want to see how good my chiffon looks.
Well, and she had to watch, the tweet come across.
Right. I mean, girl gives us content for days. Let me tell you, she just. I mean, and here's the thing, I don't know how people do it. Because, something gets said, and, less than 5 minutes later, there's a meme for it on the
Already. Right. The social media people, I will poo-poo on influencers, but they get it. They are good at it.
I mean, I was people are pulling pictures out, like the one for Roger, the one for E.T. There's a one where it's the alien is wearing a dress going up the staircase, and that was another one that they used for the aliens trench. But, people were taking screenshots of X and what was trending, and as soon as he said it, the number one trending thing on there was, they're eating the dogs.
Well, when you listen to any commentator's clip, especially if they're more on the Democrat side of things, that's the first thing they show is the eating their dogs, because that's where he really fell on his face.
Right.
And it was just after that, it was a lost cause because he kept going back to the same shit.
Well, and he was so rattled, he was getting angry.
Yeah.
And I was just it's great to watch, but it's also you're watching someone lose their shit in real time.
I loved every minute of it. Oh my God, it was amazing.
And we did feel the pain of that during the Biden debate.
Right.
Oh,
you're on the other side, it sucks. So,
right.
Sorry, Republicans, it sucks.
But karma's a bitch. Karma's a bitch.
Karma is a cat.
And it wasn't because everybody was out to get you, Donald Trump. It wasn't that the ABC was in cahoots with Kamala and gave her the questions. That's what he's saying today. Is
they're saying that she had microphone earrings. Yeah. But I saw that someone debunked it, and they were like, actually, this is the brand that is for the earrings, and these are the Tiffany earrings that she has. And I was like, get it, girl.
And those Tiffany earrings are expensive.
100%. But
they cost a lot more than them Nova earrings.
For real. But Donald Trump doesn't have the capacity to think that he is fallible.
But also the people who are his yes men are the same way. They're
they are his fluffers,
and they'll find anything to say to do it. So even Mike Johnson and Charlie Kirk and all of these
the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson?
Huh?
The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson?
Yes.
MAGA Mike Johnson.
And okay, so we watched the debate. We saw Kamala's, ending remarks, and they were fantastic and
hopeful,
yes, and trying to be uplifting. And then, of course, Donald Trump gets to have the last word,
right?
And he decides to use it to attack Kamala and not try to bring the country together, but divide it even more.
Did nothing, yeah.
And then less than 14 minutes after the debate was done, we get an endorsement for Kamala.
That's the tweet I was talking about.
Yeah.
From who?
From Tay-Tay, Miss Taylor Swift. And she signed it childless cat lady.
But it was, what I loved about it is it was like, okay, she basically, it wasn't like, I'm a Democrat, I'm voting Democratic. She was like, I watched the debate. I urge you all to do your research.
Right.
I urge you all to look up who you're going to vote for. Voting is important. And because I feel strongly about my opinions, it's Kamala Harris who I'm going to vote for.
So less than 12 hours after she did that tweet, she had 8 million likes and like 2 million shares of that post. Also, vote.gov, where she was sending people to go to register, had 300, almost 400,000 visitors to their site through that link.
No.
So before, when she had talked about Trump and Biden in her Miss Americana documentary, people were like, and then she wanted people to go vote. There was no way to quantify it. Now with that particular special link that she has, there is a way to quantify it, and almost 400,000.
Oh my god! Link in bio. Click the link in bio.
Exactly.
This is my affiliate government link. I get a percentage of your vote.
So what I loved was one of the things the Republican and Trump said this too. Like, well, it'll probably hurt her sales. When she's back home, all the Republicans aren't going to buy her music.
In what
well,
sales?
She backed. The last election, she backed the Democrats.
Yeah.
And Republicans still paid a fortune.
Correct.
She's more popular now than ever. So.
She had the #1 tour in the world. She made $3 billion total when this.
Was that her Air Source $3 billion?
Yeah, when it's done, she would have made over $3 billion for this. Mm-hmm. She is like, people are like, there was also memes about like Brittany Mahomes, because you heard about what happened, right?
So yeah, I didn't understand that.
You need me to break it down for you?
Well, because I didn't know who that was.
Okay, so I'm gonna break it down for everybody.
Thank you.
So listen up, take notes, whatever you got to do.
This is Paul's punditry.
This is the closest Paul gets to sports talk.
I'll Drag Race a little.
Yeah. So Brittany Mahomes, who is Patrick Mahomes' wife, who plays on the Chiefs with Travis Kelce.
Okay,
that's a sports connection right there.
Right there.
And that's football.
It's football. Yes. Who Taylor is dating Travis, Brittany's married to Patrick.
Okay.
Now, last season, they were always together. They were always partying in the suites and everything at every game.
With the Mahomes?
With Brittany Mahomes, okay. Taylor was. And so they were like close BFFs. They went out to dinner, blah, blah, blah. About a week ago or so, Brittany Mahomes liked a post from Donald Trump. And then Donald Trump posted another tweet saying, hey, I just want to say I love the beautiful Brittany Mahomes. Thank you for defending me and our country and blah, blah, blah. But she unliked the post that she originally liked. Because people noticed, like, when they went to the first football game, the first Chiefs game, Taylor was in a separate suite from Brittany. They weren't partying together.
Oh. Did she not know?
Oh, I think she knew.
Oh.
Because it became very big that Brittany Mahomes liked that tweet from... Because it inadvertently affects Taylor. And Taylor doesn't do anything without thinking about it. So...
Yeah, I was going to say, so that in the image, and Taylor Swift is very, like, conscious
correct.
Of that.
So, and also because she hadn't said anything about Trump's AI usage of some
Taylor Swift
photos, Taylor Swift's.
She did in the tweet, though.
She did in the tweet.
Or not the tweet,
but she had never said
thing.
anything up to this point about it.
Yeah.
So then, cut to the U.S. Open, and there's Brittany Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Taylor all partying together. But you don't technically see Brittany and Taylor together partying. It's a lot of Taylor and Travis together, or all four of them together. Then they went out to dinner. Stay with me here.
So wait, one was she liked the Trump post.
She liked the Trump post.
Then they were in separate boxes, right, or whatever. And then the U.S. Open. Okay, and then they were semi together but not.
Correct. And Brittany had liked and unliked another post of Trump's.
No.
Right. So
girl, Miss Mahomes, don't be liking shit, girl.
So, and then
I want to know, how do people find this out if you like something and unlike it? Are they that like, I'm going to watch it like a hawk?
Yes.
Okay.
Because especially Swifties are very protective of Taylor.
So they're just like perusing, like, oh, we're going to watch Brittany Mahomes, see what she likes.
Well, they're like, I think they look at other things. Like if you're following them, I think sometimes it says so and so like this, or or you can kind of see that kind of thing.
So they like monitor it. They probably wrote a fucking computer algorithm to monitor Brittany Mahomes' Instagram activity.
They probably
But good for you, girl.
So I think and so that was the whole thing. I don't know where we're at with it right now, but there were all these memes about they used Regina George freaking out.
Yeah, that's what I saw and I didn't understand.
Right, it's like Brittany Mahomes learning that Taylor's voting for Kamala, and it's like her screaming, and that's why. So I thought that was hilarious, but I'm also like, how do you people think of these things? But I also today, because it's the first day after. You've got people like Megyn Kelly who are going on their podcast and saying, who gives a fuck, and trying to downplay the endorsement.
Well, she's going on her podcast because she got kicked off of the show.
Right. And she's like, I don't give a fuck who she wants to endorse, but don't say this and that. And it's like, she's going to lose money, nobody's going to pay. It's like, okay, so what are you guys going to what music are you going to go buy? Kid Rock? Laura Trump's single?
No.
Yeah, she put out a single, girl.
Was it Vote for My Felon Dad?
It's supposed to be a patriotic song, but nobody wants to listen to it. So I'm like, and I was telling Andy this. I was like, and Andy said the same thing. It's because we were talking about it, but it's just okay, it's great that Taylor did this. She didn't have to come out and endorse Kamala, but she did. And there are people who are going to be swayed by that.
Oh, yeah.
If they were already, because look, the debate isn't going to change anyone's minds whose minds were already made up.
Right.
If you're already going to vote for Trump before the debate, you're still going to vote for him.
Uh-huh.
If you're already going to vote for Kamala, you're still going to vote for her after the debate.
No, that totally changed my mind.
Oh, okay.
I'm voting for not JFK. What's the one guy?
RFK?
Oh, no, I think he dropped out.
Who probably does eat dogs or cats? I
know. He has a vocal polyp or something. When he talks, I'm like, girl, you need to see a speech coach.
Okay, and I'm like, I'm surprised that he didn't try to help Trump more in his debate prep.
Yeah.
But there's those people who are in the middle who are undecided and they weren't sure where to go, and maybe Taylor's endorsement is going to sway them. I hate that we live in a society where people have that kind of influence, but it's also okay,
yeah.
Because let me tell you, Megyn Kelly, if she had endorsed Trump, you'd be
shitting bricks. And
yeah,
be
oh my god, because you're so happy about it.
Yeah, she'd be orgasming. But what I love about Taylor Swift's influence is she is the most influential politician without being a politician. She has more influence than anyone in Congress, in the White House, in Capitol Hill, whatever. She is more, and that's why people are afraid of her.
Right. It's because the Swiftie army has so much power, and there's so many people, and and people think it's all these tween little girls, and it's not. It is everyone.
It is tween girls. It is tween boys. It is Trevor the non-binary twunk. Wait, no, the twink that's managing Kamala's campaign.
Social media campaign, right?
But I'm like, I think it's great because I'm like, I love the fact that she posted it as a childless cat lady with her picture of her holding her cat.
Yes.
Just right after the debate, too, because that made a statement in itself, and it actually added more fuel to the Kamala,
and again,
glow, right?
Taylor doesn't do anything without thinking about it from all angles.
Cut to Taylor Swift is actually going to be I don't know,
playing at the inauguration.
Yeah.
But, that's a way to get votes.
Hey, any way that we can do it and make sure that it's a landslide so he can't say anyone cheated,
no. Well, and he's already trying to.
He's already setting that stage right now.
Yes.
all you people out there, I will prosecute you. He sent a cease and desist, which has nothing to do with what he was saying.
No.
But,
when he's using scare tactics,
is behavior you're not behaving in right now.
Right. Well, and then somebody had posted about he has a plan to help young people be able to buy houses by cutting regulations and stuff, and it's okay, but that's not helping you. That's helping the construction business, who now can cut corners because regulations have been laxed, and now they're going to sell you a house
that's crap,
that's larger, so you're getting more money, you're getting more square footage for your money, so you look like you're getting a deal, but now it's crap and it's going to fall apart.
Right.
I have two things. Number one, I hate debates. because nobody answers a freaking question.
Yes.
Right? And they both did it. I wish they didn't, but nobody answered a question really in that whole debate. Trump, one of the things that bugs me about him, and nobody talks about it, is he only speaks in superlatives. Everything is the best, the worst, the absolute, number one. I am a genius about this.
Or like the biggest crowd.
Genius. My plan is perfect. Everyone loves it. Everyone agrees that we should give this right back to the states.
Yeah.
There's never anything less than absolutes on either side. And that's absolutely untrue in every case, right? There's no everybody agrees to everything. There's always one person who disagrees, right?
Yeah.
But nobody plays on that. Like nobody says, he's
that's a
the
good
best,
point.
I'm the worst. It's just a weird pattern of speech.
I love that she said they are laughing at you.
Yeah, they think you're a disgrace. Again, she took his ego and she brought all of the ego down and she pulverized it. She put it in the Vitamix and she made soup.
So my other one comment was about plans. They kept giving her crap about not having a plan, and she's using Biden's plan, and she had concrete things she threw out there, which I thought was a great response to that.
Yeah.
But then later on, they asked him about his plan for fixing Obamacare, and he's like, "Well, we're considering some different options. So do you have a plan? So it's been 9 years. Do you have a plan? Well, we're looking at different options. I'm not the president."
Right. We have concepts.
I was like, didn't he say we have concepts?
We have concepts.
Bro, if you can't come up with a plan in 10 years, go away.
Well, and that should show you how difficult it is to deal with insurance and the healthcare system in America right now.
Well, I mean, he also didn't do anything.
But not trying either.
No, because he said, I'm going to do it, and he never did anything.
Well, he also claimed that he saved Obamacare, but he tried to defeat it something like 60 times.
Yeah, she said that she gave a number for how many times it was.
So he claimed in the debate that he saved Obamacare. He's the one who didn't get it thrown away, but he tried to throw it away more than 60 times.
Yeah. Well, and she kept leading him into the questions, like with the with COVID, and she was like, because he's like, she's got the worst economy and inflation, and she's like, Trump left you with the best or the worst unemployment, the worst inflation, the worst COVID response, and he's like, well, we were the first with ventilators, and she's like, no, when you had with the chips. When you did the chips over in I don't know,
you sold
China.
Chips to China.
You sold chips to China, taking it away from us, and it was like, girl.
So Ruffles or Lay's?
No, Lay's.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, no,
it was eat just
no,
one.
it was. Oh my god, it was those the chips back in the day, the Wow chips that were made with the oil that wasn't real oil, but it gave everyone diarrhea.
Olestra.
Yes. Do you? I know we're pivoting and we're tangenting, but do you remember those chips?
I do.
Did you eat them?
That was going to be this whole evolutionary thing we should do an episode on diets and fads and things, but that was going to be, the whole concept of that was when you eat a fat, this chemical basically surrounds the fat so it can't be absorbed into the body.
Yeah.
And then you
just
basically
poop it out.
put it through your system.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't realize it was on an accelerator, so anybody who ate those chips...
I remember because people were talking about it, and I was maybe 5 or 6, and I remember there was a bag of chips at a family event, and I was mortified, and I didn't have any. Because of all the press?
Yeah.
Anyway, no, so the microchips.
Okay.
Not the potato chips.
Oh, but that was I mean... To wrap it all up, it's like Taylor said, do your own research.
Okay, Miss Taylor. It's like Taylor said, karma is your boyfriend.
Karma is a cat purring in my lap.
Karma, what other songs we need Natalie who knows the words.
Well, I'm also worried. I'm so what are we going to do now? Because Brat Summer's over. So what is it? What are we doing going
There's going to be a new fucking trend tomorrow, girl. It's going to be, someone's going to have something, and it's going to be orange whatever. Get the kids do it quick.
Yeah.
We're probably already over whatever's in fall.
But by the time this comes out on Friday, it's people are gonna be we've moved past the debate already.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah. I hope not. Like, I really do, because what I think so. I think is what I love about this whole campaign with Kamala is like every time you think that the momentum is kind of waning, you get like an accelerator. Like the endorsements of what's his face, Cheney kicked everyone. She keeps getting kicked to the top of like the news media and like of like relativity, I think. And then this one, like now the debate, it's like boom, boom, you're back up, and it's like now you're like appropriate and relative again.
Well, and like, did you
relevant? There we go.
Before we wrap up, though, like, did you watch the video of like them telling Rachel Maddow telling Tim Walz that Taylor Swift endorsed them?
No.
It is so cute. You should watch it on YouTube. It is so cute. He is like, because he's a Swiftie.
Oh, is he?
So, yeah.
Aww.
And it was like, so I was like, that's awesome. And also, look, one more thing that I remembered as I'm saying this is all the memes of like Kamala when she said, Tim and I are both gun owners, so we're not trying to take your gun.
I also had no idea Kamala Harris was packing heat.
Oh, okay, but like, I love when people are like, putting out memes of her now like packing heat or had a gun, and she was like, what? So anyway, get out there,
register to vote.
Register to vote. If you are registered to vote, please check to make sure you're still registered. There's a lot of shady stuff going on, and you need to make sure that you're registered. And make sure you check where early voting is happening in your state and in your county and in your city, so that you can get that in ASAP.
Do your civic duty.
Vote early and not often.
Is there often voting?
No, there used to be an old like joke saying, vote early and often.
Yeah,
because
you only get one.
People would go like and drop multiple ballots.
Oh my god!
This is an age-old problem in America, but you know,
clearly,
yeah. So, all right, everybody have a great week.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to These Unprecedented Days. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and join us next time as we continue exploring the ever-changing landscape of queer life. Until then, stay proud, stay fierce, and